Hey yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Mike and Ant with another recap. We're in week 14. We're gonna be going over the Sunday night game, the Chiefs versus the Texans, where the Texans actually, it looks like they stomped the Chiefs out the playoffs. What are your thoughts on this game, bro? And how you feeling tonight?
Man, it was a good defensive battle. Both offenses, for the most part, struggled, especially in the second half.
Yeah,
Kansas City was able to get together a little bit in the second half, but they couldn't do anything in the first half. Patrick Mahomes was terrible. He had one of the worst games of his career. He completed less than 50% of his passes and threw three picks. Um, and then Travis Kelsey just looked old. I mean, he just looked
yeah,
old. And the defense, they played hard, they fought hard. But Houston's defense is a little better. And I know Kansas City's mathematically still in, but it's pretty much over. They
yeah,
need not only do they have to win out, but they need too much shit to happen, and they need like maybe three or four teams to like ahead of them to like collapse here in the last month of the season.
yeah. And the only one that
That's
looks like
too much.
they're gonna collapse is the Colts. I don't see any of the other ones in any form of crash mode.
And the Colts are on the outside looking in, so they don't even matter right now.
Yeah, yeah. But the things that I do want to say about this game that stuck out to me the most, I don't think Mahomes played as bad as the stats say he played because there was drops left and right. Um, the get played the the last interception when they had a chance. Kelsey pretty much played volleyball and threw the ball to the other
Yeah, that
team.
was Kelsey's fault.
Yeah, right before that there was a big drop. Um, the drive before that when they went for down fourth, Rice dropped a big pass. There was another play where Rice got knocked out. I know they want to say shoulder to shoulder, and I don't like those defensive receiver calls, but you got to be consistent. Their face mask touched, and he almost killed him. So that looked like a by NFL standards, not mine. That's a penalty. And then there was just a few other things like when the Chiefs was down 10-0 in the first to come out in the second half, and they went for it on 4th and 1. Yes, they scored. Hunt got the touchdown. He saved them on a terrible 4th and 1 call because that play should have been stopped, right? And you don't turn down a field goal, in my opinion, when you're down by a touchdown to field goal anyway. So yes, Hunt saved them, but that was a bad decision. Um, then after you tied the game, I mean, they had all the momentum in the second half. They scored 10 points. It was unanswered. The score was 10-10. The Texans looked like they was panicking, and the Chiefs turned up in playoff mode. It looked like at some point the Chiefs was going to win that game, but then for some reason, Andy Reid on 4th and 1 in his own territory decides to go for it. Um, Pass should have been caught. I understand that probably. You know what I'm saying? Actually, pass shouldn't have been caught. I think that was the one that went in the dirt, or Rice might have dropped it. I forgot exactly what happened there. But bottom line is, it was a bad play call. They got stopped. It gave the Texans momentum in the second half that they didn't have. They inevitably score a touchdown. The game gets away. Well, Kelsey's interception kind of threw the game away, literally. But you get my point. That 4th and 1 is what cost them the game. You punt there. Your defense has been playing good in the second half. The Texans haven't moved the ball. Andy Reid makes the decision not to do that. And inevitably, it might have cost them Patrick Mahomes' first playoff berth.
Yeah, and like I said, mathematically they're still in this thing, but they,
Yeah,
they need a lot of things to happen. They need in the last month of the season, Kansas City has to win out, and then they need either Houston, the Chargers, and the Bills to kind of slip and fall, and then even in the teams that are on the outside looking in, they need the Colts to slip. We'll talk about them later, but they might be the team to do it. But they need the Colts to kind of lose out. And then also too, they're tied with the Dolphins. I'm not sure who has the tiebreaker there, but also but the Dolphins too. They need them to kind of slip and fall too. So they need a lot of things to happen in their favor, and I just think it's too much to overcome. They blew it tonight, and I think the Chiefs are gonna miss the playoffs now.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs need to find out if, well, assuming they don't make the playoffs, I think either as soon as that time happens or next year, they need to figure out if they got a starter in Noah Gray, because I think it's time to probably get an upgrade at tight end. I think their wide receivers are still pretty set. Um, a lot the like Rice's drops in today, I don't think will happen that much. But they also need to stop throwing anybody that they're just throwing people in the backfield. Like the thing was a good story. And Brashad Smith converting to running back, and Pacheco, I believe, did the same thing early in his career. It's like you need to give him a weapon behind him, because it's getting to the time now where Mahomes isn't going to be able to do this by himself.
But they
And
thought
it's
that was gonna be a Claire Edwards-Helaire. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, he just was a bust. I mean, at the end of the day. But I mean, with that being said, I think the Chiefs' chances of making the playoffs now is like 13%. Um, they don't look like a playoff caliber team, and we have a chance to see Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, um,
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, that's the other one I was thinking about, and a few other guys not be in the playoffs. And I know this isn't what the NFL wants, because these are all your money guys. So, I mean, this year's playoffs is going to be from a quarterback standpoint, it's going to be pretty mediocre.
Out of last year's MVP candidates, only Josh Allen is the only one that looks like he might make the playoffs.
Yep, there's a chance he don't too. I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause, Lamar Jackson's on the outside looking in, Patrick Mahomes on the outside looking in,
yeah,
Jared Goff on the outside looking in. The only one that's in the playoffs right now, anyway, is Josh Allen.
yeah,
Like you said, it's not even a guarantee that he gets in.
yep. And just I forgot to say the score in the beginning. The score is actually 20-10. Texans 20, Chiefs 10. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
just pull up the stats real quick.
yeah, go ahead with them. And
Houston won the game 20-10, as Mike mentioned. CJ Stroud was completed 15 of 31 passes, so he too was under 50%. So that was pretty bad. He had 203 yards passing, so a lot of dink and dunk. One touchdown, no picks. Woody Marks, who looks like might be their new running back, because he's better than Nick Chubb at this point.
yeah,
He was their leading rusher with 26 carries for 68 yards. Their leading receiver was Nico Collins. He had 4 catches for 121, no touchdowns.
yeah,
On the Chiefs side, as we mentioned before, Patrick Mahomes statistically was one of the worst games of his career.
yeah,
Actually, the worst game of his career. He completed 14 of the 33 passes. At one point, he set a career high with 10 straight incompletions,
yeah,
and he only threw for 160 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And then again, this has been the story for the Chiefs all season. Patrick Mahomes is also their leading rusher. And we keep talking about you can't win in this league with your quarterback being the leading rusher.
yeah,
And Patrick Mahomes led the team in rushing with 7 carries for 59 yards. And then their leading receiver was Xavier Worthy, only 3 catches for 55 yards.
yeah. And their
He,
line sucks as
offensively, it
well.
wasn't good for the Chiefs at all.
Yeah, their line stinks. Their running game stinks. Their tight end isn't giving them enough. They're just I would even go lower than the 13% that they're giving them right now. I'd say that the right now they're sitting at 0. But
Well,
that's
I'll say in fairness to the O line, though, they did mention on the telecast that they're missing 3 starters on the O line.
you got to get it done though. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the Rams, I seen them last year rotate 55 offensive linemen.
Yeah,
You got to have a little bit of depth there, and it just doesn't seem like the development is there, like where Rams can take undrafted free agents, or like a pick that failed somewhere else, and after like a year or two they'll give them like
or better yet, the Seahawks during the Legion of Boom years. I don't know if you remember, but they'll take like converted defensive linemen and put them on the O line.
yeah,
Like,
and
okay, y'all ain't good at. We drafted you to be a D lineman, but you ain't good at D line, so we'll just put you on the O line and see what you could do.
yeah, like I mean, it just comes down to coaching. But the Chiefs are done. Good game for the Texans. Stroud's finally starting to look like himself again, even though it wasn't a great game. He looks like he's confident again. And at the beginning of this season, he looked worldly bad.
I mean, statistically, he was just as bad as Mahomes. He just didn't
Yeah,
have.
but I think that the outlier there is he was real good in the first half for the most part. He was super garbage in the second half. So that's
Do you,
kind of what evened it
do you
out.
think, even though it wasn't realistic, but do you think because Davis Mills played so well when he was hurt, do you think that lit a fire under his ass, and that's why he's playing better since coming back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Davis Mills came in and played better than CJ Stroud played this year up until that point.
Yeah, and Davis Mills winning all those games is the reason why Houston's on this point right now.
Yeah. He knows that he's probably a bad game or two away from, not saying that you won't get a starting job again or you might not win it back in the offseason, but probably a game or two bad games away from Davis Mills coming back under center.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure he knows that. But with that being said, you have anything you want to add to this, bro?
Yeah. For the Chiefs, I agree with you. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. I think, yeah, yeah, they might have like a 13% chance, but I think it's zero. But I will say that this is gonna be an interesting time for the GM, because what made the Patriots so great was how they were able to rebuild without actually rebuilding. Because the team that won Super Bowls in the 2010s was totally different than the
Yeah,
team that won Super Bowls in the 2000s. And
agree.
Bill Belichick, to his credit, was able to rebuild that roster as guys like Brewski, McGinnis, um, who else am I missing? Ty Law, as all those guys started
Yeah,
to get old.
Lawyer Malloy,
Yeah, Lori Malloy. Like, as all those guys started to get old and aging out, Bill Belichick did a great job in drafting guys like Devin McCourty,
Santi Samuel.
Gronk. Yeah, and was able to replace those guys. And that's why I
Mhm.
said they're able to rebuild without actually rebuilding. And
Yep.
it'll be interesting for the Chiefs now, because I think this part of the dynasty is over with. But I think how they draft and how they're able to rebuild, we'll see if they'll be able to continue on. Is this just a blip? They just had one bad year, or is the dynasty over? So I feel like that's what hurt the Cowboys in the '90s,
Yeah.
that they weren't able to retool. Like, once their guys started getting older, it was pretty much just a wrap. And that team really hasn't been the same in the last 30 years. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the Chiefs are able to do. 'Cause I think they're starting to age out. Chris Jones is year 10 for him. He's getting older. Obviously, Kelsey, he had the worst year of his career last year, and he's even worse this year. And I'm not sure if he wants to continue to play or not, but he's looking like he's starting to get washed.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Worthy and Rice, they're probably the only two future pieces right now on offense.
I mean, maybe it seems like Juju, they might bring him back.
Jesus. Well, with that being said, let them know where to find us, bro.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. Make sure you like and subscribe us on YouTube, and also on Twitter/X. You can follow us, Mike at MobMiz508, and for myself at Expected Ant. And make sure you scan that QR code. And then once you scan in the QR code, type in the promo code MobMiz508.
No,
Get 10%.
Mob Squad
Oh,
5.
Mob Squad
Yeah,
508.
yeah,
Get 10% off on the all Doobie Energy products.
absolutely. And let's
All
dive into this next one. We'll see y'all again.
right.
Peace.
Peace.